So many of us are frustrated with the number on the scale and how we feel in our bodies. Maybe you've been trying to take back control and keep wondering, what am I doing wrong? But here's the truth. The weight loss industry is probably gaslighting you. In this video, we're going to unpack how and why we gain excess weight from both a biological and anthropological lens, and why it can feel so hard to lose it. If dieting really worked, the industry wouldn't be worth over $100 billion and growing. So let's shift away from quick fixes and fads and start working with your body. Sustainable weight optimization isn't about restriction. It's about understanding how your body actually works. Let's start with 2 cardinal rules. Stop making weight the goal and stop dieting. These rules aren't just feel-good advice, they're rooted in your actual science. Your body has a weight set point. It's influenced by genetic, early life experiences, and previous weight changes. When you gain a substantial amount of weight, your body might reset and usually will defend a higher set point than before. Things like stress, inflammation, normal aging processes, but also especially calorie restriction, make your body cling to this new set point even more. This is often particularly true for women, whose bodies are more sensitive to energy scarcity. And this is just why strict dieting backfires. Think about it. Throughout history, humans experienced famine and food scarcity quite commonly. Your body perceives dieting in our modern world as a threat, and it tries to protect you by slowing your metabolism, increasing food-seeking behavior, and regaining that weight as soon as possible. It's a biological survival response, misattuned to our current epidemic of ever-available calorie-dense foods. And let's be honest, societal standards for appearance can be completely unrealistic. When was the last time you were in the locker room of a gym with people who worked out regularly, maybe even daily? Does hardly anyone look like the super lean images we're bombarded with in the media? Also, your body composition, metabolism, and set point naturally do change a bit with each passing decade of life. If you're holding yourself to what your body looked like at 25 or before having children, you're likely defeating yourself before you even begin to make changes. We also have to recognize the gender differences. Men just typically lose weight more easily. And this is due to their higher amount of muscle mass, which creates a higher metabolism and a more flexible weight set point. Nature didn't necessarily need their bodies to grow or feed children. Women, especially under stress or during hormonal shifts, often hold on to weight more stubbornly as a survival mechanism. The bottom line is diets feel like famines to the body, and they'll just never lead to healthy, sustainable weight loss. Now, if you need a kickstart to change your mindset of your life, that's fine, but you'll need a lifelong plan for nutrition and fitness to have real, lasting weight optimization. Understanding your body, your health, and doing the foundational work is the true answer. Functional weight optimization. Why does a body resist weight loss? Your body's doing exactly what it was designed to do: survive in a world with food insecurity and the need for constant movement to survive. It's just that now our world is extremely different. For most of human history, until about the mid-20th century, food was scarce or unreliable, and life was very physically demanding. Your very recent ancestors probably moved a lot just to get through their day. They ate local and unprocessed foods. Today, we live a largely sedentary life. Even if we make time to work out around our consuming modern schedules, we're surrounded by ultra-processed, hyper-palatable, ever-available food. So our biology is just fundamentally mismatched with our recent modern condition. We were designed to survive in scarcity with constant exercise, and we live in a sedentary environment with tons of food. So if you're craving comfort food, struggling with motivation to exercise, or holding on to weight under stress, congratulations! That's what helped your ancestors survive. So in order to find realignment and freedom from a toxic weight and diet culture, you'll need to subscribe to reestablishing some biological norms. Number 1, movement. Your ancestors, maybe even your grandparents or their parents, averaged 5 to 9 miles a day, not as a workout, but just to get through life. Now, hitting that number under modern life conditions, it may not actually be realistic, but it does put into focus how and why we've gained so much weight over the past recent decades, and why aiming for daily, consistent movement is crucial to finding a stabilized metabolism and appetite. And please, let's not think of this as burning off what you eat. It's just about reestablishing biological norms. Your body just doesn't function right without movement. Your appetite, blood sugar, mood, sleep, hormones, energy, and of course metabolism will always be out of balance without consistent movement. Also, many of our bodies are programmed to want to eat enough to fuel these high levels of movement, even if your modern life actual activity level is much, much lower. Nature just abhors calorie restricting, and lower calories does not have the biological benefits of higher activity levels. Movement builds muscle, stokes metabolism, improves cell health, insulin sensitivity, longevity, slows aging. Weight loss and calorie restriction just can't compare. Next, let's talk about food quality and quantity. What you eat matters, not just how much. Let's compare two meals with the exact same number of calories. One has a balanced, healthy amount of fiber, protein, and whole foods and natural carbohydrates from plants and starchy vegetables. The other one is highly processed. These two meals with the exact same macros and calories have an infinitely different effect on your body, including your metabolism and your hunger and satiation levels. So simply switching to a whole foods, nutrient-dense diet can go a long way to regulating appetite, inflammation, and metabolism, and helping you feel well enough to make other healthful choices in the rest of your life. Now let's address the cardio myth. Cardio isn't bad for you. In fact, cardio is health and longevity gold. Cardio originally got a bad rap because it was associated with holding on to weight because of it stimulating the stress hormone cortisol. But it's not the cardio that's the problem, it's the rest of your life. If you're already running from lions all the time, then cardio can mimic the continued stressor. If you're underslept, undereating, inflamed, or dealing with other health dysregulations, then cardio can be part of the stress response. But the answer isn't to permanently avoid cardio exercise. The answer is to support your health and life in those other areas of your life so cardio feels like a healthy balance. But also remember that set point. Just because you aren't losing weight doing cardio doesn't mean it isn't giving you huge health gains in almost every other area. It's also important to mention that you have to slowly gain fitness in order for fitness to even really burn many calories. So for example, if you're just getting going and you're exercising a half hour, you're not probably burning that many calories. However, as you're fitter, later on, at the exact same effort and heart rates, you're gonna be burning 2-3 times as many calories in that same half hour just because your fitness is higher. So instead of focusing on weight, focus on wellness and slowly build cardiovascular fitness over time. Stop weighing yourself and use fitness milestones like being able to walk a mile or put in X number of minutes of cardio a week as your goals instead. Something a lot of people don't expect is really important to weight balance is sleep. Humans need a minimum of 7 or at least 8 hours of quality sleep a night. Lack of sleep is a stress to the body and can make it want to hold on to weight, increase cravings, and decrease willpower and motivation to move and be active. So if you're getting 7 hours and still feeling tired, work on getting 8 hours. Remember, 7 is the minimum number of hours for well people who are feeling good. I know it can be hard to fit it all in a day, but prioritizing sleep will give you more hours to the day you have. All right, what if you're doing all of that and just still can't lose weight? Nutrition and exercise are foundational, but can't cure everything. That's where investigative, functional, and integrative medicine can help uncover hidden barriers to weight optimization, like inflammation, hormone imbalances, gut microbiome disruption, cellular dysfunction, chronic stress and nervous system dysregulation. When your systems are working with you, your body can find the right equilibrium. Now, that may not mean skinny or the weight you were when you were much younger or before having babies, but we find that most people are able to kind of let that go once they finally feel good in their skin, that their body is responsive to their efforts, that they feel uninflamed, energetic, and able to pursue their health and life goals. Now, is weight gain reversible? Weight optimization is possible for everyone, and that will mean optimizing your health and metabolism from your body's current ecosystem, an ecosystem that might be different than in earlier times in your life before other significant changes have happened. Weight optimization also requires ongoing health and metabolism support habit. If you make changes that lead to weight loss, but then go back to the way you were living before, clearly those changes might not last. Your body can find weight equilibrium when we align our habits with our biology, including sleep, movement, the quality of our food, and quantity, meaning not too much but not dieting either. Some factors are fully reversible, some are partially reversible, and some require ongoing support. But all of it can be tailored to what your needs and priorities are throughout the stages of your life. What matters most is restoring the foundations that help your biology feel safe enough to release weight. The truth is, there just isn't a magic solution. Not a supplement, not a probiotic, not a hormone fix, or the one way of eating for everybody that holds this miracle weight loss cure. But the other truth is, it's not that complicated either. If you stick to the foundations, optimizing sleep, movement, and nutrition, then the body can correct a lot on its own. Sustainable weight optimization comes from returning to your body's biological norms and working with your current set point. So what about GLPs? GLP-1 medications have entered the weight loss and health scene like a wildfire, and there are a lot of pros, but also some cons, and the effects of longer-term uses are still yet to be determined. If you've battled obesity and food noise for a lot of your life, GLPs are absolute game changers. GLPs can help reverse the food noise, the constant appetite cravings, and be that get-out-of-jail card for many people. As for the use of GLP medications outside of obesity, it becomes more of an individual analysis and may have some potential negative side effects. When we're dealing with obesity, our body preferentially loses fat. When we only have 3 to 20 pounds to lose, it can often prioritize losing muscle over fat, actually making us weaker and slowing down our metabolism. Also, low-calorie diets just can't provide us with the basic nutrients we need for cell and overall health. Even if the weight loss is mostly necessary from fat loss, over the long run, you risk becoming malnourished or nutrient deficient. A human has to eat almost perfectly nutrient-dense 1,500 calories a day to even meet our nutrient needs. If glutide therapy is a short-term weight loss, you'll probably be okay. Over 6 months or longer and not dealing with overt obesity, the risk of malnourishment can get higher. Also, importantly, weight loss does not equal health. It can be very important in obesity, but for those with average weight loss goals, it can eventually lead to actually more harm than good. If you aren't focusing on strength training, nutrient-dense foods, and eating enough to support a fitness-based active lifestyle, calorie deprivation and lack of nutrients can catch up with you. This might be especially true for women. Things like bone loss, hair loss, hormone disruptions, and negative impacts on mood and brain function can be side effects of longer-term lower-calorie diets, even if you aren't hungry. So how do we use GLPs wisely? If you've dealt with long-term obesity, these really can be game changers to change your brain and appetite chemistry. If you're dealing with average weight loss goals of less than 40 pounds, use them as a tool, not a solution. Either way, pair GLP medications with a nutrient-dense, calorie-sufficient diet, and then adding in strength and fitness training will help protect your muscle mass, promote bone health, keep your metabolism up, and protect your overall health. Let's talk about building lifelong habits. So what are the long-term solutions to weight optimization? It isn't diets like low carb, high fat, high protein, all carnivore, all vegan. It's not just lift heavy weights, no cardio, all cardio, and on and on. It's about working to maintain the foundational nutrition and fitness habits that your ancestors lived with. And it's about setting health and fitness goals based on where you are now, not just weight goals. Here's what does work: regular and restorative sleep, daily movement, and regular strength training. A balanced, nutrient-dense, whole foods way of eating, at least most of the time. Identifying and working to balance any nervous system dysregulation, whether that's daily stress or unresolved trauma. Addressing root causes of metabolism dysfunctions like gut imbalances, inflammation, hormone dysfunction, nutrient deficiencies, and cell dysregulation. And having flexibility and adapting to know your wiggle room, knowing when to use your willpower to make better self-care changes even when it's not easy. This isn't about perfection. It's about sustainability over a lifetime, about maintaining your health habit boundaries and learning when to let go and how to return when you get off track. Many of us have burned way too many brain cells worrying about our weight and punishing ourselves for not living up to certain unrealistic ideals. This can create a toxic mental spiral that only keeps us more stuck in unhealthful patterns. Negative self-talk may make it so we don't even want to try anymore. Remember, the weight loss industry and many health influencers are either gaslighting you or only selling you what worked for them. There's no trick, fad, high protein, low carb, or other diet trick or weight loss product or gimmick that will give you freedom from weight struggles. The real answers are simpler, but can be even harder to adhere to than a temporary diet or spending a lot of money on a product. It can be challenging in our busy modern lives to find the time to move, sleep, and avoid the constant food noise inside and all around us. That's why it's really helpful to get external accountability and maybe even professional support to help you figure out how to address root causes of metabolism disruptors, what steps to take, and to help keep you accountable. We want you to throw away the scale. and instead to focus on the essentials to foundational wellness. Over time, allow your weight to find equilibrium from a place of wellness and fitness. Sustainable weight loss is about living in a body where energy is steady, mood is balanced, digestion works, and you can enjoy an active life. We aren't selling skinny. Instead, we want to start an anti-dieting revolution. We want you to change your goal from skinny or weight loss to healthy, fit, or vibrant. Weight optimization will follow.